Hi, this is Jeff Watson, and this is the assignment about creating a blog entry to describe how the features related to G Suite tools would impact my classroom instruction. So I thought I'd just take part of a minute here and talk a little bit about my perspective on all this. I'm not currently teaching. I retired from education about 5 years ago. And when I first started teaching, which was over 30 years ago, my first classroom had one computer in it, and I was one of the few classrooms who had one. It was also a Commodore 64, which had 64K of memory on it, and the storage for data was a cassette tape player. A few years later, our building got a classroom set of computers, Macs, kept in the library that students had limited access to, because even with good scheduling practices, they rarely were able to get into the computer lab long enough to get much done. So this is all, in a sense, relatively new for me. In my last position, which wasn't in Ames, was in Collins Maxwell, we were a Google district, but most of my use for Google was not in instruction, but more in guiding, helping others guide instruction. So this is all very new stuff for me, and I've enjoyed this a lot. I've come from the perspective that I've always felt it was good pedagogy for students to be working collaboratively. And without the use of a computer and without students having lots of access to computers, that's very hard to do. This opens up a virtual world for kids, and I'm terribly excited about the possibilities of all of this. I wanted to take a minute and show you slides and talk just a little bit about the short slide presentation that I had put together in one of the assignments. But I also am excited about things like students being able to take quizzes and quizzes from any location, and that Sheets being able to, or actually that would be a form, and Sheets being able to collect that data so that it can be analyzed and evaluated very quickly and easily. This seems like a wonderful tool to have, and as many of you have posted about, helps you make much more efficient use of your time. So let me just quickly walk through this slide presentation here. This is the comic book assignment, and I just opened up the last slide because I wanted to show you some of the things that I thought were really cool about this. There's so much embedded in putting together a good slide presentation, and not only the collaborative nature of things, but all the things it teaches kids about sequencing and visuals and creating a mood and perspective and using humor and story elements. So in this case, I tried to be a little bit humorous, but also follow the assignment guidelines and retell a fairy tale. So over here, I've just had added these animations here so that I could slide in the characters and the comments in the order that the person viewing it would need to see them in order to understand the story. One other thing that I thought I would just quickly show you here is this exit ticket that I created around MC Escher. Not that I would probably assess students on this particular artist, but I did think just the fact that you can ask students questions, they can answer them at any time that is available for them, and that you can get the responses literally instantaneously, and that you can look at those in another document that can be manipulated to help you better understand the results of what you presented to you. So hopefully that was a little bit helpful to you, and not just a bunch of me talking. I will say that I have found this class enormously stimulating and very interesting, and I hope to be using many of these things in my own personal uses here in the near future. Thank you.